Failure, the notorious foe that stands between you and your dream. Now, what if I told you that failure necessarily wasn't your enemy, but your ally? That's right, the road to success. I'm here to share with you how to turn that disadvantage of failure into an advantage. Let's talk about why you experience failure. More than likely you experience failures because you're doing something that's difficult, that's challenging, something that you haven't necessarily encountered before. You weren't trained on it, you didn't have prior expertise. You embarked upon new territory and you failed. One of the reasons, in my opinion, as to why you, especially speaking on my behalf, as to why I experienced failure is because I was trying to go to the next level. And when trying to go to the next level, I realized there were some hard things that I had to encounter, right? Because typically, if you're trying to get to that next level in your business or your real estate portfolio, your entrepreneurial endeavors, you have to encounter things you've never done before. Things in which you've never had prior experience, prior expertise, prior education. And at times when you're doing new things, yes, you may fail. As Albert Einstein said, he mentioned that a person who doesn't make mistakes or fails is a person who doesn't try anything new. So if you're trying something new for the first time to really grow and scale your business, then you have to embrace the fact that you may experience failures. Now here's one of my favorite books in the whole wide world. Got it right here. You guys might have heard of it, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And one of the things he says in this book that I actually wrote down and etched in my mind, not just wrote it down on paper, but etched this particular quote in my mind is this: quitters never win and winners never quit. Here's the key thing. Both people, quitters and winners, they both experience failure. The difference makers between the two is that winners don't quit, even if they experience failure. So I just want to encourage you, if you're in that situation in which you experience failure and you feel dejected, you feel discouraged, you feel ashamed about it, don't let it hold you down, because if you're a winner, you keep going until you get the end result. Now, what can you actually learn from failure? Because most people, they try to avoid a failure at all costs, but that's not something that you necessarily want to do. Of course, you want to learn vicariously through others. You want to minimize your mistakes, obvious, right? However, failure allows you to have some introspective in regard to what's going on with your business or what's going on with you personally. Because oftentimes, your business is a direct reflection of you. So when you see failure in a certain area of your business, more than likely that's a failure that's indicative of what's going on within you. And so failure does allow you to see what's going wrong. So let me share with you a case in point. I remember early on in my entrepreneurial career, we had one of our highest month in sales ever. We made over $200,000 in sales, cash hitting the bank account in 1 month. We were definitely excited about it, but when it came to the profit, I realized that the profit was little to none. And it would sound crazy. We had our highest grossing month for sales, cash hitting the bank account, but we had nothing to show for it. And then next month or second month or the month after that, I then realized that, oh snap, we're not necessarily profitable. Or hey, why our sales dropped from 200,000 to 100,000 to 75,000 to 40,000. And as a result of this failure, having a high month and a low month, I realized using introspective that there has to be something I need to fix, right? What's going on? So failure indicates what needs to be fixed in your business. And so I end up lifting up the hood, so to speak, proverbial hood when you lift up a car and when your check engine light comes on, because this was similar, it was a check engine light coming on in my business. And I realized, oh, I see, I didn't have a predictable source of leads. So if I can figure out how to get a predictable source of leads coming to the business, then my sales people will have ample opportunity to sell. The second thing I realized is that, I have a lot of operating expenses. I had 2 CRMs, I might have had 2 different platforms for phone calls, let's say a paid account with this phone system and another one with Zoom. I was spending money on here, spending money over there. I was never challenging any of my expenses. And of course, it's like having a bucket, right? When you pour a lot of water into that bucket, let's say the $200,000 worth of sales, and you see that the water in that bucket is rising, you think everything's gravy. But if you're not paying attention to the holes beneath that bucket, and then once that water decreases, the sales decrease, you can really see all the holes in your business model. And so that was eye-opening for me. So I had to truly embrace the failure because it provided me with an opportunity to learn and do things better. So piggybacking off the last scenario, another thing what failure happens to provide you with is the ability to set up contingency plans. plans. So for instance, we were getting leads online for our business, and then we realized that, being that the leads are not predictable, the sales had direct correlation with the lead flow that we came in. And also we noticed that, what if, God forbid, our internet went out, right? Because we're an internet-based business. And if the internet went out, how are we going to be able to still make sales and bring home the bacon? Or what if, we market on YouTube, for instance, because back in those days, I was only marketing organic means, YouTube, Instagram, things of that nature, free organic traffic. And back in that mindset, I was thinking that, oh man, but what if YouTube blocks our account? How will we get leads, right? Or what if, and so I had to start thinking about, as a result of seeing that failure where my lead generation decreased, I had to really start thinking about, okay, what contingency plans can I set in place to make sure we have more than one source of lead generation? And not just another organic source of generating lead, right? But an inorganic way, paid traffic way, so we can have predictability where lead generation is concerned. And also, what if the internet went out? How can we still get sales? Is there a possible way that we can still reach out to people in their CRM and cold calls? So maybe we shouldn't just rely solely on inbound leads that are warm, but also we should do outbound. Just in case if lead generation is low, we can pick up the phones and start hitting the phones and start calling people. So if you learn wisely through failure, it will teach you how to better improve your business. So what you need to do, my friend, is embrace disruption, because when you embrace disruption, you'll soon find yourself getting better at hard things. Now, this is one thing I want to share about hard things, because most business people, most entrepreneurs, real estate investors, they want to get to that next level in life, right? And they want to get to the next level in their business. However, that's where the hard things are at. And being that the hard things are there, they think to themselves, well, I'm a perfectionist, or well, I think highly of myself and how I view myself as a winner, so I can't do the hard thing because I might potentially have a loss on my record. It's similar to how you see NBA players, right? At times when there's like a buzzer's about to go off, right? The shot clock's about to go off, and they will shoot the ball after the shot clock goes off because they realize they have a high probability of missing that shot. And as a result of that high probability, they shoot it after just to pretend like they're going to try to take the shot, but really to not affect their statistics, because they see themselves as, a stat line where they got to have certain statistics. And being that this probability is high, it's hard to make a shot all the way from half court. Let me pretend like I'm doing something that I'm really not. Pulling the trigger, shooting the ball after the buzzer went off. And that's what a lot of us do as entrepreneurs. As a CEO, we try to make it seem, based upon appearances, that we're actually doing hard things, but we're actually not. And if you happen to fail while trying to do the hard things, such as having a difficult conversation with a key person on your team and potentially have to let them go. Sure, they might be an all-star, they might be putting up numbers, right? Let's say using sales again as an example, but they can be cancerous to the organization, meaning their morale, their attitude, always showing up late, it's just, that can have a negative impact on your team. And if you don't embrace that hard thing, but you're actually going to make failure even greater, because your whole team will witness that you're showing favoritism, you're not necessarily exercising the criteria that you outline in regards to the core values, and they'll start losing respect for you as a CEO. It may start doing the same things that problem employee is doing as well. So you have to embrace the hard things. Another thing I want to say about the hard things is this: you might not be a marketer, right? That's fair, because there's many different divisions, aspects, departments of business. You might be great at one or two. You might be great at sales, you might be great at operations, you might be great with human resources, you might be great with technology, systems, but you might not be great with marketing or customer service. That's fine. But if you truly want to get to that next level, embrace failure. Try the hard thing, because when you try the hard thing over and over and over, and of course, if you're being wise about it, getting training, you will see that this hard thing will become a skill set for you. And to the point where, even though it is hard, but guess what? I can do this. I can overcome this. And then it will really build up that dopamine in your mind to really push forward and do hard things. So when I faced that failure in which I happened to see that my business was losing money and that we weren't getting predictable leads coming in, I realized that was an opportunity for me to grow. And then once I acquired the additional skill sets, learn how to do marketing, or learn how to do contingency plans, also learning how to take a look at accounting and reduce my operating costs, making the business more efficient, that failure ended up being a blessing in disguise that created a whole new opportunity for me to be able to have a stronger company with a strong team to provide quality products and services to our clients. So remember, Failure is not the end of the road. It's actually an opportunity for you to get to that next level. In fact, it's an opportunity for growth and development. So now that we're able to discuss how entrepreneurs should view failure and opportunity in their life and in their business, let's go ahead and shift our focus for us to talk about a subject that's more dear to an entrepreneur's heart. So here we want to discuss the 5 key things that you can do, 5 life hacks that you can implement so that way you can have that harmony between your business, your assets, your family, and be a better you. As always, guys, this is to your success. Continue to earn passively and live passionately. Make sure you focus on that massive income in your business to fund or finance the passive income in your real estate. Take care. Peace.